Are you suffering from a stiff neck that's making it difficult for you to turn your head? If you are, then this video has the solution for you. My name is Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties Specialist Physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be giving you a 2-minute tip that you can use to relieve the stiffness of a neck that prevents you from turning your head. Now, before we dive into the content of today's video, please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel because it really helps me to reach more people and you'll be the first to know when other videos are released. Now that we've said that, let's go on to the meat and bones of today's topic, and that is stiffness in the neck that makes it difficult to turn the head. Maybe it's something you just woke up with, maybe it's something that's been there for a while. And the symptoms we're talking about here are pain, usually up one or both sides of the neck, pain when you try and turn your head, and maybe you feel like there's a restriction there. Now, typically people who have this problem find it quite difficult to get comfortable at night because they can't put their head properly on the pillow. They also find it uncomfortable to drive because every time you get to a junction, you have to look right and left, so they find themselves doing this because they can't turn their head. It just makes everything pretty miserable. It makes it difficult to work at a desk, it makes it difficult to be active because you don't want to lift anything because it starts to hurt the neck, and it can just bring you all kinds of misery. Now, this type of problem can be caused by a number of different things, but the most common cause of this problem is a problem with the facet joints. And the facet joints are the joints that join the vertebra in the spine. So if this is the neck here, these white things here, the bones, are the vertebra. And you can see here that there are joints between each one. These are called the facet joints. And these are the areas that tend to get so stiff that they restrict rotation. Now, in the human neck, it really is only the top part of the neck that moves when we rotate the head. So we can be quite confident that if you have stiffness in your neck, the facet joints that are the problem are the ones that are near the top of the neck or just underneath the skull. So even if your pain feels like it's coming a bit further down here, the joints that are the problem are usually the ones that are higher up, and that can set off a muscle spasm which can go down further, but the problem is near the skull. Now, a couple of things can cause a stiff facet joint. You can have a muscle spasm, you can have something called a facet joint dysfunction, which is where the joint doesn't move as it was designed, and you can also have things like arthritis as well, which develops slowly over time. So my recommendation to you would first of all to go and get checked out, because once you've been checked out, a physio or a doctor can tell you what the likely cause is for the stiffness in those joints in the neck, and they'll give you a better idea of how to treat it. But if you're looking for some fast relief after you've been checked out and after the doctor said you're okay to continue with exercises like this, I have a great exercise that can help your joints get moving a bit better so you can turn your head. Now, the problem with the joints at the top of the neck is usually that even though they're trying to move, they're getting caught on each other. So the neck is very intricate. When we move, the different joints have to do things at different times. So it's often a timing problem. So one part of the neck is moving, the other part is not moving, and things are getting jammed up. So one option is to just wait and see if it goes away, but that can often take a long time. The other option is to help those joints move manually. And that is exactly how I'm going to show you how to do today. And then once you have an idea of how to do this, you can do it regularly and it will help you turn your head. Let's have a look at the exercise now. So to make this exercise work, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to take 2 fingers of the hand on the painful side. Let's say it's the right side on me, and you're going to take your first 2 fingers and put them together like this. You're then going to reach behind your head and you're just going to find the knobbly bit on the back of your head. So flipping round, the knobbly bit on me is about here. So I'm just going to feel that bit for a moment just to get my bearings. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slide down into the neck. There should be a groove in your neck. If you slide down 2 inches, you'll feel a second bony bit. You might have to press a little bit, but you'll feel a second bony bit. And the bit that you can feel there is what we call C2. So that's the second vertebra on the way down the neck. Now C2 is where a lot of the rotation happens. So if you can find that bony bit, you're on the right spot. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to move outwards about 1 inch. So I'll show you from behind. So we start on the center, and our job here is to just move outwards about 1 inch. And you're going to either feel a bit of soft tissue there, or you might actually be able to find a second bony feeling area as well. But depending on the structure of your neck, you'll either just feel softness or you'll feel a bit of a hard bone underneath. Now that's the area we want to focus on. So once you've found that area, so 1 inch out from the center, you're going to press your fingers into it, okay? So the type of pressure we want is probably about 40% of what you could do. So if 100% is really pushing, you just want 40%. So it's a nice firm pressure. The fingers aren't going to slip. You want there to be a sensation that you're pushing in, but you don't want it to hurt, okay? So once you've pushed in, you're going to hold the pressure, and as you hold that pressure, you're slowly going to turn your head the opposite way. So my fingers are pressing on the right side of my neck. I'm going to turn my head left. And you're going to hold the pressure all the way round and all the way back. Okay, so the fingers don't move, they stay on the same point, and you press in, you hold it, and you rotate as you hold. So fingers on that part of the neck, you come 1 inch out from the side to find it, you press in, and you turn away from the hand, so the opposite direction. Now you might find if you've got a stiff neck, you can actually turn further than before, and that's what we would like to see from this exercise. We'd like to see that range of motion increase. Now it's very important that you hold the pressure on the way back as well, because if you hold it on the way there and then you let go, sometimes things can realize that there's nothing now to help it on the way back, so everything can lock up, and we do not want that to happen. So we keep the pressure all the way on and we keep the pressure all the way back. Now the reason this works is because you are using your fingers to manually move those joints. You're basically showing them what they should be doing. And for a lot of neck problems, the neck has quite simply stopped doing what it should be doing. So it's not mechanically moving as it was designed. With 2 fingers, you can help it go back to what it was designed to do. Now let's have a look at the other side. So if we had pain on this side of the neck and we were struggling to turn to the right, you take your left hand, again, you find the bony point on your head, you come down a couple of inches, you find that second bony point on your neck, the first one you can feel. You come out 1 inch to the left side, put a bit of pressure on there, and then as you look to the right, you hold the pressure, just only go as far as is comfortable, keep the pressure on as you come back, and stop there. So I would recommend for most people that they do somewhere in between 5 and 10 repetitions in the same direction over and over. You do it very slowly, so you want to take only 3 seconds there, 3 seconds back, and just see how that feels. If that's loosened your neck up, feel free to come back to that exercise as and when you can, just because it helps to remove stiffness from the neck and to free things up a bit. So I hope that's been useful. That's all I've got for today. If you want more tips like this, please feel free to pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon below this video using the link. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you very much for watching. Do feel free to leave me a comment underneath, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next video.